Hey everybody, welcome to the Pixel Panda Arcade and Happy New Year. We're kicking off the new year with Deadzone Rogue. If you haven't heard about this game, it is a roguelite first-person shooter that honestly took me and my friend by surprise. So we completed our playtime with Deadzone Rogue and we had a really good time, like more of a good time than I thought we were going to have, which says something. So the gameplay that you're going to see throughout this review is for the first level only, and during the first bit of going through and upgrading your character. And I did this because there are some spoilers, but we get to that further in the review. So please, if you are thinking about getting Deadzone Rogue, before I even get into this, the game is good. The game is much better than I thought it was going to be, and you have to keep in mind it's still an indie game. It's still getting updates. I'm not going to cover zones 3 and 4 in this review, but they just released. The developer has been very good about keeping the game up to date, even on console. So there's a lot to like here. So anyway, thanks for joining me on the Pixel Panda Arcade, and let's dive right into the review. Now before I jump into the actual review, I want to call out Deadzone Rogue's settings. This is some of the best settings that I've seen in an indie game ever. So starting with display, you'll be able to change your sharpness. They have accessibility settings for brightness and color correction. You can turn off motion blur, and they have limit menu frame rate. Then you can go in and adjust all of your controls. I had to adjust the sensitivity as soon as I loaded up the game, I knew. Especially the right stick. It's very slippery in the beginning. So go in here and adjust your controls. This is the settings that I have everything tuned to. And then make sure you go in and you change things for when you're scoped as well. You can change the dead zones, invert the axis, turn on or off vibration and adjust its intensity. You can have aim assist on, limited, or off completely. And you can change inverted y-axis, aim down sight mode, initial flashlight state, and auto shoot. Now audio, you have your basic audio settings here. So master, music, gameplay, character, ambiance, and your background audio. Then you have your voice, so your voice chat, push to talk, volume, output volume, and bindings. And then if you go to bindings, you can actually change your entire controller bindings. And I'm playing on the Xbox Series S, and so this was really nice to see. I didn't change anything, but I'm really happy that the option is here, and I really feel like every game needs to move in the direction of letting you adjust these things. And then finally you have your MISC settings, which is like your display language, your audio language, subtitles, and all types of stuff, which is really nice. The reason I bring this up is to call attention to how much I really like the detail, the flow, and the navigation of the settings in particular. But the entire menu system is really awesome in this game, and I really appreciate that the developers didn't skimp on the settings. Alright, so as you go through Deadzone Rogue, again, you're gonna be fighting a lot of robots. That will change as you progress. Everything is still biomechanical though, and the level of biomechanical increases as you go through the game. You're gonna get some really wild looking enemies. At first I was a bit annoyed with fighting robots. I'm so sick of fighting robots in games. But the way that the game changes from robot to complete biomechanical enemy, I thought was really well done. We're gonna take that. So combat is smoother than I thought it was going to be when I first got the game, which says something. Usually you play an indie shooter and the combat is not combat is not great. But this one is, and it's a little hectic. I'm gonna get lit up. I'm so sloppy in this game, but I really like going through and just shooting things. You're gonna get a lot of weapon variety. I believe there are 30 weapons in this game. I only like to use 2 of them, and the minigun is not one of them. So there's also melee combat, which what do I say about the melee combat? It is not what it should be. I believe that the melee weapon should be a separate weapon that you can equip to a 3rd weapon slot, and it would give you, I don't know, more of something to do. I've never liked melee just being bound to one weapon, or sorry, one button, but it is what it is. Now, you're going to be presented with a lot of upgrade options in the game itself, so as you're running through the level, and you're going to be presented with a lot of options for upgrades outside of the level, inside of your ship. So there's no shortage of ways that you can customize your combat experience during the course of the game. But I will say that if you get attached to something, don't, because the odds of it dropping again for you are pretty slim. As for the kinds of damage that you can do, there's a lot of elements in this game. It's the best part about the combat. I am partial to fire and frost and some electricity, but there is void and there's one other element, and then there are other things that you can attach to your gun to change them up. Now, the progression of how you go through these different upgrades is done really well, in my opinion. You're not going to be introduced to other forms of upgrades until you hit the next area. So during this portion, the first area, you're going to be introduced to the basics, like basic upgrades, basic weapon customization. And then as you continue forward, especially when you get to zones 3 and 4, you have even more customization options to really make your damage explode, which I really like. And as you play, you'll be able to upgrade your weapon just at a baseline. So you can see on the screen, this is the upgrade equipment menu. Here you can bring your equipment up a level or bring it up quality-wise. Like, see, I can make my minigun green. And the fabricator is not going to let you bring it up a level at every fabricator. So you have to be careful. And really consider what you're doing. If you look up at the top, you'll see like fabricator max quality. Uncommon, this means you can only bring it up to the green, and so on and so forth, and that will just change as you continue. Now, your weapons and stuff, they're not going to carry over to zones 2, 3, and 4, which I thought was a bit of a bummer. I would love to continue expanding upon the build as you go forward, but for what we got, it is pretty fun to use. So as for the rest of Deadzone Rogue, one of the biggest things that I have to say about this game is how much I like the vibe. When you load in on your ship, you're brought into what looks like your living quarters. You have like a couch, a jukebox, some drinks. And then you have your upgrades, your computer, your statistics, your customization, all of it. And I really like the vibe that's here. There's not a lot being thrown in your face. And your ship, like, is not customizable, but it's okay. When you play in co-op, you're gonna have your friend in here with you, and it's just a nice place to spend your time before your missions. Now, going over each one of these things individually, you have your computer. This is where you review the story. Go back and replay what you have. Look, the story is easy to miss. It's told through logs and end of zone or end of story missions, I should say. They have like some cutscenes, nothing too crazy. And there's a fair bit of environmental storytelling, which I came into the game looking for anyway. But if you're somebody who wants the narrative kind of fed to you, this is not going to be the game for you. You're going to be missing a lot of context if you don't like environmental storytelling or looking for lore on the ground and in the terminals. Now, the UI for everything is fine. Like, you have your mission select here, your customization here, and all of it is fine. The navigation is fine. I don't have anything good or bad to say about it. I do wish though that the game had more customization. Now there are plenty of skins for you to get for your weapons, which is going to be the most important thing, because you're not seeing your character in first person. And all of this, by the way, is unlocked in the game. There are things that you can purchase, like the Void King that I'm wearing right now. This comes with the deluxe edition of the game, but these are all unlocked just by doing things in the game, completing certain missions on specific difficulties. And you'll see here, this is the entire selection of weapons that are currently in the game. Your suit skins are a different story. Your character looks so funny. Like, if you play this game in co-op, you'll know what I mean. You just look weird. And the Void King skin, I wear it because I got it, but I think it's hideous. The Mark II pilot is much better looking, and the Mark II pilot extraordinary is even better looking than that. And you have to buy the DLC packs that come with these, and the DLC is just cosmetic. But look, the updates are free, and I appreciate that. So there's really nothing more for me to add here. And you're not going to really see these on yourself anyway, other than your gloves, which you can see right here. As for the permanent upgrades, I really like what you get. So you can reset if you need to. I'm not going to, but you can. And each tree has like utility, damage, defense. I really like this because you can really feel these upgrades in this game, which a lot of these kinds of games don't do a good job of letting you feel the impact of your hard-earned upgrades. This game, though, definitely lets you feel it, and I really appreciate it. Again, normally I don't like this cursor on console. I find them to be obnoxious. Here, it's not too intrusive. I do, wish I could just go around with the D-pad or something, but this is fine. Really, it's all just fine. And for me, that's enough. It's enough because the missions are fun, the mission variety is fun, and the gunplay is good. It's not like a Call of Duty level of gunplay, but it's fine, it's fun, and it works. And that is why Deadzone Rogue is getting a golden token from the Pixel Panda arcade. This game has fun co-op. It has great customization. There's a ton of different builds that you can do. The weapon customization is unlocked as you complete missions, which I appreciate. And the only major gripes I have are the mission length. I mean, pushing an hour and beyond is a little crazy. Although you can get like a checkpoint and close the game and take a break, I feel like some of the mission lengths are just too long, especially for the story. And I do wish that there was more of a narrative here. I think they have the basis of something that could really work. I'm hoping that the team expands the narrative and maybe goes and touches up a few of the levels for environmental storytelling sake. But the way that the levels progress is nice. The way that the upgrade system works is nice. Deadzone Rogue really is a fun video game. which is about all I could ask for a game like this. If you made it to the end of this video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or dislike if that is your prerogative, and be sure to subscribe to the Pixel Panda Arcade, and I will see you guys in the next video.